Welcome back to Jaguar Journeys, your favorite video podcast. That's right, you heard me, your favorite Belizean video podcast. And if you didn't know, you're about to find out why. We're all about telling the stories of our journey as the National University. This podcast series is powered by our robust faculties and, of course, our dynamic, connected, and creative student community. Tonight, we're going to have a conversation with two amazing young men, two students, two Black Jaguars whose commitment and endurance and dedication, I think we can sum it up by saying Jaguar Pride has brought home championship titles from last weekend's Belkin Ruta Maya River Challenge. Congratulations, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight. I'm so happy. I'm excited, and I'll say because I've heard so many stories. I was following you guys via our UB Facebook page, and I was just blown away by your perseverance. But let's get a little introduction about who you guys are.
Yes, so I'm Kirk Williams,
My name is Keane Gillett.
and we are both from the canoe team here at the University of Belize.
Thank you, guys. And before we really get started in our conversation, we have to introduce the man behind the effort, our Dean of Student Affairs, who is no stranger to the UB family.
Martin Cuellar, the Dean of Student Affairs and Manager for the Canoe Program.
Thank you so much, Doc. And so we're starting our conversation tonight, guys. And I have to start out by saying, yo, I take my hats off to you guys. I know I might be beyond the age to try and even fathom the idea of sitting in a canoe and trying to paddle. How long was it out there on the river?
It was 4 days, ma'am.
4 days.
And you're definitely not over the
Age
age
limit.
because we did had an 80-year-old paddler out there with us.
80.
80 years old, and he's an international paddler. He came into Belize to paddle, him and his wife.
I spent one night outside of my element, and I feel like I'm getting crazy. Imagine 4 days. Talk to me about what you think would have been the inspiration or the motivation behind you guys wanting to be on board this river challenge. I know we're coming out of a pandemic, and so all of the activities that once upon a time we used to take for granted, right? All of a sudden, there is a new purpose, there is a new vision when it comes to those activities and, of course, those events. Talk to us about what you think was the inspiration or what was the motivation behind you guys wanting to jump on board the 2023 La Ruta Maya River Challenge.
Well, I can start off by saying first it was just like I would say growing up seeing the Ruta Maya experience. I just wanted to be a part of all the what you would say the joy, the excitement, the explosion that comes with the Ruta Maya. And at first it was a task at hand, but then afterwards I gradually just grew into the feel and the vibe of just doing it day after day. And it just became something natural, and now I just want to go back into the canoe.
But you guys are athletes, though, right? So, and I'm just putting that out there because, oftentimes we think about people who are, actively engaged in this type of activity. You're not going to find anybody who doesn't come from a sort of trained, disciplined background. But you guys are athletes. What are the sports that you guys are involved in?
So I also play basketball and volleyball, apart from canoeing.
Apart from canoeing, I'm just mainly focused on doing some softball and just other recreational sports and home workouts. I usually just do what you call calisthenics.
Never heard that one before. You want to tell us a little bit about what that's about?
It's just like body weight movement. So it's like not so much with the weightlifting. It's basically you using your own body weight. So that's something I think that gave me a slight advantage while in the canoe because it's mainly how much you can carry your body weight.
That's interesting. So we know that you guys really put in a heavy pound in winning this race under your category. We know that the energies that you had to have invested in it, right? The dedication. But there's also another important component, Doc, and I'd like for you to weigh in a little bit on this. Talk to us a little bit about what it takes behind the scenes to get a team. I believe we had two teams this year.
Correct, correct. Good night again. And it takes a lot. It's a team. It's like we say, the entire village to raise a child, in this case, to build a program. And so it starts way back to the people who came even before us for this year's preparation. But certainly, we have the Department of Sports and Recreation that provides the logistics, the money. We have the Department of Maintenance and Physical Plant that provides the vehicle. That's essential. Without a vehicle, this sport does not work.
Going and coming every day, right?
Because you have to move the canoes from the campus to the river constantly. We have to reach out and find professional advisors and coaches to give the specific technique training to the paddlers, and then we have to go out and also get sponsors to cover the large budget of preparation for the race and then the race itself. So it takes all of those people coming together, and then of course it takes the paddlers.
And that's a lot of work, Doc. It certainly requires team effort and organizational skills for sure. I'm thinking about the sponsorship because I know that, we have yourself as the mastermind behind putting the pieces together. We have our able paddlers, but of course, we could not have pulled it off without sponsorship. So, and you never know, maybe there's somebody, there's an organization, there's a um, somebody with six figures behind their names who might be looking on and saying, hey, this UB team have potential. How can I reach out to them? What would a sponsorship entail? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Definitely.
For sure. And one of the things that we do with our sponsors, we look at trying to give them as much recognition and branding for their investment in our program. So we don't look at just donations. You notice throughout all the images, the videos that are posted on UB's various social media pages, our sponsors are clearly branded, and you see their images repetitively. We also create special posts that we place all over our social media, acknowledging and thanking our sponsors throughout the race. But beyond that, they have the opportunity to continue building the relationship with the program. And I think that's a bit of what you were talking about. We look forward to strengthening the relationships that we have with them. And I can say that we kind of hand select corporations, entities that shared similar core values that our sports program has. And so you look at the search for excellence, you look at the commitment to hard work, you look at teamwork, and those are our core values, and we have other companies that share those. And so we are very happy to work with Coop Sheet Metal. Coop Sheet has been a major sponsor for the university program for over 10 years.
Wow.
And that really shows you once you have that marriage, it's hard to break. We are happy after taking a 2.5-year break through the pandemic. We are this year rebuilding the entire program. So all our athletes who paddled this year were brand new to the sport. None of them had paddled before. None of them had been in the Ruta Maya Challenge before. And but the sponsors were aware that all of these paddlers were entering our tradition of thorough and scientific preparation. And I think that was attractive to them. And so beside Coop Sheet Metal, we were able to attract the office gurus from the Belmopan office, and also the National Bank of Belize, which again is an excellent and a natural partner with the National University. And so those are our three primary sponsors. We also get some support from creative marketing, who designed and printed our uniforms to make us look good.
We definitely want to big up creative marketing for doing such an amazing job in pulling together our t-shirt. You know, I'm all about branding, and I think that we want to be a part of something that their presence can be felt. And so the minute you see those t-shirts, you know that yo, UB is in the house. So I definitely want to big up creative marketing for those t-shirts.
I couldn't pick which one was my favorite.
Um, guys, I know that, you know, off air we've talked about the dedication that it required of you to really give it your all. But as a lecturer here at UB, and I know how, you know, time can quickly fly by before you know it, the semester is over. We're just about mid-semester right now. Talk to me a little bit about the academic component of this journey, because I know that you guys spend crazy hours out there on the water, going from early morning until late at night. How have you balanced your academic obligation with this competition?
Well, balancing the classes, it's very hard because we go paddle during the week as well. So sometimes it was on Wednesdays and it was on Thursdays. But we trying to find a balance between like us as the paddlers, because some of the guys have more classes, or more majority of the guys would have classes on Thursdays, so that's why we push it on Wednesdays. It's just trying to find that balance and still going out there to give it our all when we're at practice, so that we can give it our all when it's actually the race day.
I can't reiterate the importance of, you know, being like what you said, being able to balance. That is something that coming to the University of Belize and wanting to participate in our varsity sports is something that we don't take lightly, where there has to be, you have to be able to meet just that academic minimum, right, in order to participate in sports. So you guys are, what's your major?
I'm majoring in information technology.
And you?
I'm majoring in med lab, medical laboratory science.
I don't know how you guys do it, but I'm happy that you have done it. You're here to tell your story. Doc, I know sometimes we're in studio late at night, and poor Doc is coming in with his team and the canoes, and I just say, Lord, take care of Doc and guide him home safely. But I'm saying that to say that, you know, it is a collective effort. If it is that we want to yield fruitful results and we want to be proud as an institution, it takes the coming together of all parties to give of themselves. And that's something that I'm so proud of, you know, being a part of the university, that there is this wholesomeness that is shared. And it's something I think that we ought to be very proud of.
Well, thank you. And for sure, everybody acknowledges that this is a sport. We like to say, like the song, Pan the River, Pan the Bank. So we need action definitely in the canoe, on the river, but we need a lot of action on the banks of the river as well. And so that's our support system. And sometimes the support system might be down to one person, but many times there are others in the background who might be preparing meals for them to take, who might be preparing beverages and selecting different nutritional beverages for them to take. We have people who are in the background preparing medical supplies and support. And then we even have, again, people with taking care of gasoline, people taking care of equipment, people who are ready to help us if we have problems along the river. And you will have problems. You know, there are lots of stories that these guys can share of some of our challenges through our season, because it's a whole season, really. We started in October of last year, so we're one of the first teams to start with our training, especially since we have a lot more training to do. But yes, so from then we've had a lot of interesting incidents and stories of challenges that come up on the river. You know, we've had canoes that break. We've had one great story was and Keane can tell more about this. One day they had to stop, and I was like, "Why are you stopping? Why are you stopping?" Well, the seat broke, so the middle paddler was kind of sitting on his butt in the middle of the canoe, and so we took out the canoe quickly, looked around, and we literally found a coconut that fit perfectly under the seat because it was the brace for the seat that broke. And so we put it, and the seat was perfectly level again. He jumped back in, and they went down the river. So for a couple of weeks after that, we were calling them the Cocoa Boys and
Coconut
and
boys.
the Coconut Boys and
We were
other.
requesting for coconut lady as well.
Yes, they wanted the Coconut Lady to become the spokesperson. So that was just an internal joke.
Why do you think it's important for our national university to take its place in these types of events?
That's a very serious point. Obviously, this is an opportunity for us to realize our goals of the Recreation and Sports Department, which is building character through sports. That is really what we're here to do in this department. And so, like you said earlier, it's all about building discipline. And whether it is basketball, volleyball, or canoeing, we go through the same processes. We have the same kinds of conversations after a workout, before a workout. We go into any game or race that we have to do with the same energy and the same philosophy. And all of those experiences help us to build better quality graduates. That's what it's all about. And at the same time, of course, we give our other students something exciting to see. We give the public an image of, or a glimpse at the humanity of our student population and how beautiful it is and how inspirational it can be when it is working at its best. And that, I think, is one of the best justifications for any sports program, to really see the human form in performing in its best. And so, and at the same time, then increasing the university's brand, allowing students to have a great entertainment and a great event to go and to showcase their university pride. So for all those reasons, we want to keep this program alive, and we want to continue building the other sports programs that we have.
So I know over the weekend, everybody was in tune. Everybody had their ears and their eyes fixed on Love FM as they brought coverage. And of course, we also had our communications team out there via Facebook Live, just keeping us up to date in terms of how you guys were progressing on the race. And so I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of students, male and or females, be a part of this event, who may be interested and may be thinking, maybe this is something I'd be a little bit interested in. What would be some of the qualities that you guys think a girl or a guy may have to have in order to participate in this type of an event?
Yeah, so when it comes to qualities, other students have approached me, especially like out when we were paddling, when we came in after canoes. Qualities, I would say, like, make sure you're in shape because it's not an easy task out there.
I mean in shape, what do you mean?
Especially endurance wise. So if you're not a good runner, I would definitely advise you to take up running because that's definitely one that or a key factor in this race, like endurance. You need to be able to paddle long hours. Yes, we paddled for like 7 hours non-stop. Um, your arms as well. Your arms are gonna get tired. One other aspect is of it. We found out during the race because we never fully paddle like one day and then like back to back. So paddling back to back, in your palms of your hands are gonna get blistered. You're not one. It's gonna be hard to close them.
Guys, I wish
We tried.
could see the palms of their hands.
We tried wrapping them.
Yes.
Even so with the wrap, we bandage up. It, you're still gonna get blistered.
How do you manage to paddle still?
For me personally, I try to like ignore the pain, but it's just like when you're done, like when we're eating, it's hard to do everything with your hands, and we normally do everything with our hands. So that's one of the aspects, or those are three main aspects. So like, as I said, being fully endurance, running, taking up running, your arms, because you're gonna be paddling that boat, and your palms. Those are like the main parts that you're gonna be feeling pain and so forth. Also, like your seating, because you guys are gonna be moving like this, moving like that. But you try to eliminate that. Try to be as comfortable as you can.
Comfort is key, yes.
Yeah, and but then it's one thing to be comfortable, but you have to learn how to be uncomfortable to be comfortable as well, because it, sitting there always on that canoe is not very comfortable. There's no back brace. You're just there. You have to arch your keep your back. Yes, gonna need to have a strong back as well. So you're gonna need to arch your back and just keep on rowing. You're not gonna be looking like this. You're not gonna be waving. You're gonna be paddling that canoe and pushing to that finish line.
Adding to what Kirk said, one key factor to me which really stand out was having the determination and the right mindset to even pick up the sport, because from the start of it, you like you said, everyone asked the same question: is it paddling non-stop? And always the answer to that is yes. You have to give it that 7 hours. So like day 2 was the longest leg, but honestly, it didn't feel like the longest leg to me. after a while, when you get hours on the water, your endurance will pick up, definitely, like Kirk said. But you have to keep on pushing yourself each and every day, because each and every day is a new challenge, and each and every day comes with different obstacles. Similarly with the practices that you encounter. Personally, for my team, we had tremendous of setbacks, hardships along the way, but we did persevere, and we are here as champions.
Yeah. And that is why I wear this t-shirt with pride and honor, Jaguar pride, because you guys are just absolutely amazing. For you to have, engaged and just stick through it, even under those challenges and those conditions. I take my hat off to you guys. It's amazing. And I think that there are so many students out there who might be looking and listening. And you guys are definitely a motivation and an inspiration for our other students to, chart the way forward, no matter what the challenge or the task that may be ahead of us. You guys have definitely shown what Jaguar Pride is, what Jaguar Power is. And we need to take a quick commercial break, but don't go too far. Please don't go too far. When you come back, we're going to hear a little bit more about some other stories that our young athletes are going to share with us.
Nestled in the green ecological belt surrounding Belmopan City lies the central campus of your national university. The University of Belize offers more than 50 associate and bachelor degrees to over 5,000 students of all ages from every corner of Belize and around the globe. Awaiting you is an exciting adventure of interactive learning experiences at home, in classrooms, and natural laboratories across Belize and the region. Come prepared to broaden your horizons and revel in international competitions, game-changing technological innovations, outstanding varsity sports, and professional wellness programs. Rest assured that you will learn from the brightest minds in Belize and in the most enabling environments as you open doors for your personal and professional advancement after graduation. As a new UB Jaguar, you are joining the ranks of senior counsels in the Belize Bar, master entrepreneurs, award-winning researchers, professional athletes, and leaders of education in our country. For you, it all starts with a glimpse of the inspiring and transformative road that lies ahead.
I've learned to have fun overcoming the challenges on the field and in the classroom.
Here at the University of Belize, I'm being pushed to think outside of my comfort zone. And I love it.
I am grateful for the lifelong friendships that I've made here at the University of Belize.
I am happy with all the support that I get.
In the words of our illustrious president, You form the core of what we do and what we accomplish. For your decision to join us on this path, we say congratulations and welcome.
Welcome.
Bienvenidos.
Ken?
Hi.
Ekabo.
This is your national university. Welcome to the UB family.
We're back and we want to thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about Jaguar Pride. And we have in studio two of our team captains from last weekend's La Ruta Maya River Challenge. And we're talking about everything, all things having to do with being a UB Black Jaguar. And when I think about Black Jaguar, guys, there are lots of things that come to mind. What do you think about when you think about that animal, the Black Jaguar?
That's a very strong animal.
Still,
Right. So when I think about the Black Jaguars, I think about there's so many powerful words that I can think about there, but there's one that really stands out, and that is fearless. When you look at that logo, man, it's something that you want to be proud of, right? It's something that you want to stand behind. And I think that's important because for our next generation of leaders, that is what we want. We want fearless leaders. We want people to be able to take risks, right? And to be able to own themselves as I'm relevant and I'm going to take up space, whether you like it or not. So I just love that dog. I love the idea of the tea. I think it's refreshing. It is definitely added value in terms of our brand. And I just love the whole idea of, when you look at the footage from the Facebook Live, there were so many Jaguar Prides out there in their yellow tees, just, cheering you guys on. And I think that's very, very important. It's healthy for a student culture, for a campus culture, to embrace each other and to embrace, whatever events we are engaging in. But we have to get back to the stories because I promised you guys that these young men have some incredible stories. We've been talking about them off air. Who wants to start with their stories?
you can start, Kirk.
Yeah, so I can't remember what specific day it was, but we had like one of the worst crashes that we could have ever had. I feel like we were gonna be out of the race because like we crashed into this big tree that was in the river, and all of us fell out of the canoe. I tried to steer with the canoe, and I got lodged with the canoe into this tree. But then the river was just bashing inwards into the canoe, and I was like, yo, this is going to take us out because the canoe is going to snap. I'm not sure how strong that canoe is, but kudos to Mr. Chris Gaddis for building that canoe because that was very strong. Me and Alex, who is our, he paddles in the bow, he pulled it while I went to the back and I tried to like kick it out, like push it with my foot out. Luckily, we got it out. Unfortunately, some teams passed us. But we recouped back. Everyone got back. We jumped into the boat and we continued our journey down the river.
One story that I don't know that just keeps on resonating was just the fact that I started with my friend Elton. Now, he was probably the heaviest of among all of the paddlers, and he had like little confidence in himself. So I took it upon myself personally to form that bond with him and build up his confidence and equally my confidence, because more so see him growing, that equally push me as a paddler to keep on striving to get more and to help my team members. So the first week or first month in practice, I told him, just get in the canoe, me and you, and if we flip, we're gonna flip again. And honestly, we went there, took our time, and we didn't flip for. But that was just one aspect that brought out trust from both of us, showing that we can handle this together. And from the start, I put in his mind. I told him over and over, we can do this. We are going to reach the finish line.
I want to say, Keane, because you guys are awarded team captains, that's an important role to take on that level of responsibility as the head. Oftentimes, we don't really take on the responsibility of team lead as best as we can, but you're again a motivation and inspiration for having that level of maturity in understanding your partner's weakness and understanding that if it is that there is a weakness in the team, you need to fill that or strengthen that as best as you can. But I would love to hear a little bit more about your partner. I know we couldn't house everybody here tonight, folks, and so that is why we invited the team captains. But talk to us a little bit about your partner.
Yes. Well, it was just both of us for the entire race because of some I yes, that came up upon one of my fellow brothers in the canoe. He had to get pardoned from the race, but nevertheless, he was right there with us, cheering us on and giving his support. But kudos to my friend Elton. He was a very strong paddler along the way. Like honestly, I won't lie. At first, I didn't think we could do it, but after the first day was over, I sat down and just went over it, and I trust him. And like you said, we had to build that trust from day one. So that was a big factor in both of us completing the leg. And there was one day, I would say it was day 3. We were coming in, and out of nowhere, I saw the boat slowing down, and then I asked him, "Are you okay?" Because I felt that we were slowing down, so I had to ask him, and he was like, "My back is killing me. I don't know if I can continue." And instinctively, I thought about a little mind game that I would play, because I remember the first time I asked him before the race, "Do you want to come out of the canoe?" He was like, I don't know if I can swear, but he said, hell no, he doesn't want to come out of the race. And again, I played that little mind game with him, knowing he wouldn't want to come out of the race because they had a service boat right behind us. I told him, there's a service boat. I can continue the race by myself. And he was like, nope, we got to finish this together.
Yes, and to add to that, it's a big aspect putting mind over matter, because your mind is going to push you when you go there. Your body is going to give up, but you have to keep your mind, got to keep your body going, because your muscles are going to be aching and they're going to be so tired. You're going to like, I can't go anymore. Again, when we're paddling on the water, there's a boat beside us, the same the 80-year-old guy, his name is Bob, I think it's Bob Vincent. He's the middleman. There's the Chris Guidance. He's the one who builds majority of these canoes out there. So they were trying to like pass us, and I overheard him saying to his middleman, "Push harder," and the middleman was like, "I can't." It was funny, yes, no, well, it was funny, no, but out there it's like no joke. But to see those older gentlemen continue on pushing, and they had a woman at the back. It's a husband and wife, and then their friend. But as I was getting back to what I was trying to mention, or the point of what I'm trying to say is, it's mind over matter, because you gotta keep on pushing your mind. You gotta put your mind up to the task. You're already in there. For me, it's like, well, I'm already in the canoe. Why would I want to stop? Just finish off with everyone else. And I look at because we don't necessarily have like competition out there with other schools, but everyone is it's all competitors. So I look at other teams like, I definitely can finish over them. It's like, push us over. And I'm mainly the one, because I pull in the stern, that's all the way in the back. So I can see my middle guy, who's Rashid Maivit, and our front guy, who's Alex Sosa. So I can see them, and I push him. Guys, let's go. Don't look back. Paddle. And then when we're beside a boat, and we're trying to like pass him, like, dig.
Oh my God.
And then you have like this mantras like, reach farther, push down, and pull harder. So it's one motion, like, keep it going, guys, keep the boat going. And we feel like we're going fast, but when you see the top teams, like, they're like speed boats, literally like speed boats.
I think you said that you guys didn't have any competition from the tertiary institution, but I think I saw Galen out there as well.
Yeah, Gillett was out there, but they went into mixed category. We're in intramurals, and we expected to have more competitors, but it wasn't our fault that they weren't out there. So we went out there and we did our thing. So our when I noticed or got aware that there wasn't any other schools competing against us, I was like, all right, we want to hunt down these other boats. So it's just like,
Pretty cute.
yes, just follow behind them and go after them.
Doc, I know we spoke about a little earlier the academics, we spoke about sponsorship, but talk to us a little bit about the structures that you had to put in place in order to get these guys ready and prepared. Did you have some physical routine? Did you have to change up their diet? Talk to us about that perspective of getting them ready for this race.
We go through a full 5 to 6 month training every time we do it. So, like I said earlier, we try to use as much science as possible, being the university. So we do research. We research locally as well as internationally, or we watch videos. We follow major international stars in the sport of canoeing. And you see different styles of canoeing as well, because international there are competitions in the sea, even in kayaks, which are related but not quite the same. But then we also look at old footage from Ruta, and we talk to some of the champions over the years. And so we were able to hook up with two senior paddlers in Belize who themselves have paddled for over 15 years. And so we were able to bring their expertise and their knowledge and experience into the training. So a lot of it is exactly that, following technique. We do a lot of technique work. We do gym work, and we do endurance work on the ground.
Excellent. And I know we're starting to wrap up now, guys, but I really want to take some time out and ask you, what words of encouragement would you give your fellow Black Jaguars who are definitely going to be out there looking at us, listening to you guys? I mean, it's important to note that post-COVID pandemic, we are in a rebuilding stage where we're rebuilding student life, campus life. And I always say, I was on a show last week and I spoke about that life on campus is starting to come to life again. We have an incredible lineup of activities and events. But what would you tell a student out there who might be listening and might be unmotivated or perhaps not inspired to be a part of the activities that the student affairs department, they continue to have these initiatives to bring us together as a community?
For any student that would like to join the canoe club, it's always welcome to new members as always, and we are welcoming with wide arms. But you have to remember, as Kirk said, you have to have that level of endurance when you're entering the sport. So you have to be physically but also mentally in shape. So you also have to always have that mind over matter, because at certain points you will want to stop. But I had a story that I would like to share real quickly. Like for 3 days continuously, I kept on paddling for hour and a half, 2 hours with my hands just getting numb. I just kept on. All I was thinking about reaching that finish line, reaching that finish line. So I would say, just if you're willing, always come and try. Give it your best shot, no matter what happens. You are a Black Jaguar.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to make an appeal that it's not just for our male jaguars, but our lady jaguars as well. It's going to be an excellent opportunity. So if you girls or females or ladies, you're out there and this is something you might be interested in, the faces of these guys, and of course, our Dean of Student Affairs. Please reach out to them and let's see how we can get our female teams rowing by next year.
Yeah, so it's just like what Keane said, but to add to it, it never hurts to try. Come out.
Definitely.
Experience the water. you're definitely going to flip. That's all. Everyone always say that when you're new to the sport, they're gonna mention you're definitely going to flip because we have other paddlers who were past students from UB as well. We went to like their houses. It was nice because this sport really brings you together.
Yeah.
And so when you meet people, they tell you about their experiences, and we have a lot more experiences to mention. But due to time, we can't get
Yeah.
into all of that.
Yeah.
But it's just coming out, make sure you're in shape, and don't be shy because you're gonna have to
Work hard.
That's how you're gonna get better. Making the mistakes so you cannot make the mistakes. You know not what not to do on the water.
Now we're getting ready to wrap up, guys. I feel like I'm just getting started, but we only have so much amount of time to get our stories out there. Any final words you guys want to share with anybody? Want to big up anybody? Want to say thank you to anybody?
I would just like to give thanks to God for because He gave us this opportunity. He gave me all this. All these guys are my brothers now. All of them. I mean, like Kirk said, you argue on the water for the most part. That's how you build. That's how you grow. But at the end of the day, we're all one team and we have one goal. So I would just also like to thank the sponsors for also helping us and giving us the opportunity to even come out on the water. And I would give a big thanks to my family because they were a huge part of my success. And they sometimes when in the boat, I was just like, man, I can't stop. I really need to reach there because I have so much people pending on me.
And to add, when you're on the water and with any other sports, the fans when you hear people cheering you on, even if that's just your individual name, when you hear them shouting, "Go UB, go UB," that really pushes you. I'm thankful for everyone who came out to cheer for us. Whether family, friends, especially like Keane mentioned, his family came out, my family came out. It was just wonderful and splendid. I enjoyed myself. It's something that I would really want to continue doing, and I hopefully I get to do it again.
The feel.
It was definitely worth it.
It was worth it, definitely.
Wonderful. Dog, you want to say anything before we sign off?
No, I think these guys say it best. It's really worth it.
Yeah.
And when they say that, that is the best compliment to the entire program.
Definitely.
And so we look forward to greater and better things
Better
coming up with the
things
program.
next
Yes,
year.
but it all
Awesome.
starts next week Wednesday with our congratulations fest.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. This is why when I say that our campus life is booming, I mean it's booming. And I'm not just talking about, being a part of the academic setting, but more importantly, being able to connect socially, to network by way of the clubs that we have going here. And with that, guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining us on our second episode of Jaguar Journeys. It was real. The vibe was nice, guys. I enjoy your ability to engage in the conversation. I loved it very much. Doc, thanks so much for your input. You know that, oftentimes we don't big up our people enough. So I want to take this time out to big up Dr. Cuellar for all that he has done and continues to do for our national university. Please link us, reach us, follow us, subscribe to us. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, and we are on Instagram. Stay with us because this is just the beginning. I keep saying it after every episode because I mean it. We're going to have so many more interesting activities and events coming up. There is one in particular I want to invite you to, and you have to follow us and like us, and you're going to get notified. You're going to get our promos. But once again, thank you so much. This cannot be possible without you, our audience, without our potential students who might be thinking about where they want to get their tertiary education. And there's nowhere in Belize like the University of Belize where the future is bright. Thank you so much again. Until next time, I always end off by saying, don't forget to join the journey here at the University of Belize.